Hello. I just wanted to do a quick sort of recap of my Spellbinders comparison of all the different flavors of card kits, because I recently was talking to some friends of mine who were newer to card making, and they were kind of intrigued by getting into it. And there's always the issue of uh, whoa, sorry about that YouTube delay, and then I started hearing myself. Anyway, um, So yeah, I wanted to sort of break down the ones currently on the market and sort of walk through some of the pros and cons of the different options. At the time of recording, Spellbinders has two on the market currently, but there are some other ones that are still available from other sources, including Amazon, etc. Um, so let's talk about the one that I had actually recommended to folks to pick up if they were interested in trying out card making, which is the card kit of the month from last October. Basically, this one um, probably is the smallest of the ones we're going to look at today. Obviously, if you want to go for a lower price point, sort of the pattern paper and ephemera combo is going to be always sort of a cheaper deal, but it really depends on what you are interested in. Oh, hello. Nice to see you, Sandy. I will just say hi, and hopefully that works. Anyway, so I want to walk through this one. This at during the Spellbinders holiday sale was actually on sale for $20. It looks like it's gone back up to 30, which is kind of what they're charging for sort of the last year's kits. If you didn't catch some of my previous videos, basically January of this year, they did a big card kit reformat. But so that this thing isn't super duper long, let's just get into this. They actually did something with their other card kit this year that I'm really happy about. So I will probably breeze through this a little bit. There are 5 million other unboxings on the internet if you're interested in this. But essentially, what we have is your sort of standard things that come in these Spellbinders kits, which are two kinds of adhesive, both foam and double sided tape, and 10 card bases, which are A2s. Um, Basically, in addition to that, you are going to get pattern paper, which I may have done a whole unboxing on this, but let's just do a quick flip through because Spellbinders does a really good job with paper, and their pattern paper is single sided and always like it's paperweight, which can sometimes be good, not making things like super duper heavy. And they do an awesome job with foiling. They're gold foil. They use gold foil on a lot of their papers and ephemera. Although I've heard ephemera started to be called like pre-colored die cuts and whatnot. So it's sold under a couple different names. Anyway, um, this is really nice. I like this one. Last year they went for sort of this teal and pink kind of vibe, as opposed to um, specifically like Christmas red and green, which you can either like or not like. I thought it was kind of interesting as sort of a stretch, and really started liking this Aquatini ink from Catherine Pooler. That's sort of that same kind of teal. But anyway, I digress. So the neat thing about this kit is you get a bunch of frame dies. These are adhesive, although I've always found using a little glue is helpful. I think these frames are really cool with the die cuts because you can sort of um, I don't know. You can basically put the die cuts in the frame, and this gingerbread man is very prevalent in this particular kit. It's very cute, so you can get sort of the vibe here. And they were still selling, at least at the time of recording, the coordinating sticker sheet that goes with this, which I wish the sticker sheet just came in this kit. But anyway, then you get a bunch of chipboards. As you can see, here's our gingerbread guy again. And these are pretty heavyweight. Again, they come on adhesive like most of the things in the Spellbinders kits. But, you know, hi, Cordelia. How are you? And then you get some. People have called these different things. They're not quite foam stickers. They're more of like, and they're not quite an epoxy. They're sort of like a very hard foam. So these guys are really nice because they don't lose their shape when you try and move them around. And like the old format kits, you always get sequins. I actually bought another pack of these, which is funny. Like these are literally right on my desk right now, which are the same sequins. So I guess I didn't remember they came in this kit, but they're basically white with iridescent, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I know what you mean, Cordelia. Um, and the thing I liked about their standard format card kits is they always came with a die and a stamp set. But the thing that's neat generally about the stamp sets that come in these, or used to, I should say, because they've changed, but they always came with a bunch of sediments. So even though if you look at like these and the die cuts, like you don't get a lot of sediments, you could always make as many as you wanted. So that's pretty neat. And then it has a really awesome Christmas tree die. You can see that in sort of this inspiration guide. And then this also comes with Santa. But the thing I liked about these kit dies is they're usually pretty straightforward. Um, as we'll see when we break into a later kit, the Spellbinder's holiday dies tend to be a lot more complicated. Anyway, and so you hit like all the old kits, you get one sheet of gold metallic and then a bunch of other colors. As you can see, we have the pinks and the blues that are kind of the thing that they were doing this time around. So for either 20 or $30, this is a killer deal because this basically was uh, at least marketed as being a $60 value, which is interesting because the next kit we're going to look at also is marketed as being a $60 value. But if you haven't played with them or like the art style, these are just a killer deal right now. And always really have been, but they used to sell them for more like, $40, 40 or $45. And this is sort of a blind unboxing in that, like, I am opening these things for the first time recently, but some of these I have seen before. So this is the All Aboard card kit, which was the not last year, but the year before, whatever that would have been, 2021's holiday kit. Historically, and this year, Spellbinders will release a holiday kit that, as you can see, or even from the thumbnail, you can see that basically. Um, These are very beefy kits. They're basically the same format, just more of everything. Just if you haven't dug into one in the past. But the one thing that I've always been really bad about using in these is the dies, because as you can see in this one, like this is a really complicated die to put together. So these are very much like, I don't know. I'll say aspirational dies. You get way more envelopes, and it looks like in transit this broke apart. But so in last year's kit, you got 13 regular card bases, and then some 5x7s. This kit, I believe, came with 15 of the A2s, and then these are the dies that came in this particular kit. Oh, sorry. Let me back up so you can get more of a vibe for the kit. And as you can see, like a lot of this is a much more vibrant red. The kits for the Christmas kits tend to come with multiple ephemera. Actually, this one's kind of interesting. This one comes with twine too, which I don't think I've seen in one of its other kits. Um, I won't break into these, but I'm planning to use these this year, so you'll see these later. But as you can see, this is much more of a true Christmas red. And when we sort of dig into the paper, I'll leave this where it is, but you basically get a red and a gold glitter paper. This is more like a traditional glitter card stock where this will shed, so that's why it's in a bag. But you get gold, and then you get more. I think this is more of a traditional Christmas palette. I guess it still has some pinks, but it's more pink as like a less saturated red. And it has phone booth, which is the true red. And I don't remember the name of the other two, but basically Spellbinders tends to have three saturations in its line. This is 13 sheets of cardstock. If we were counting on the other kit, those typically. Oh yeah, the Love Grows Here one is awesome too. I don't know. I just really like all of their kits. Especially if you want to not have to die cut, and then you get twice as much adhesive. That's probably not the least interesting thing here. These are cool. These are basically iridescent red sequins. The old kits used to come with a bunch of sequins, and these are actually different. These are also glitter epoxy or enamel dots, but this formulation has the glitter more on top, which is probably impossible to see on camera, but it's more like an enamel dot that you put glitter on top of. I don't have the Santa Lane ones in front of me, but the Santa Lanes were more translucent. They're more like what you'd normally see in a glitter dot, where it's a standard glitter dot, but there's um, some glitter in the bottom. This I like. I forgot about that. They had sort of these three primary words, and then they kind of put a bunch of sub sentiments. But same idea as the other kit, where there's basically just a lot of sentiments that you can use, and the feel is more that you'd use the die cuts for everything else. And we just keep on going with stuff because these holiday kits would always have a lot. So we have flat glitter letters, we have puffy glitter letters, we have these are I haven't seen these in a while. These are actually like foam. That's really cool. So these are like almost the same thickness, like a 2 millimeter thickness, like like foam tape, basically. So that's really neat. I didn't remember. I've probably seen an unboxing for this kit, but I haven't touched it in forever. And then you have some of the chipboard. There's a lot of these. Yeah, you're right, Cordelia. Like these kits were pretty spendy. Especially, I always found that I wouldn't use the dies because they were so complicated. Like I like the idea of like a complicated die, but then like when it comes down to using it, ooh, I really like this. So this kit is much more like traditional Christmas, which is more my vibe. I like where Spellbinders has gone with sort of this. Well, and I mean, really, like if we remember this from a previous video, right? There's a lot of people who are doing pink and teal, including I don't know. I first remember seeing it in like Pusheen, the cat from Japan. But there's a lot of that, and like this one is. Some of these are just really, I guess I use the term elegant because of the way that they're put together. Love a nice house kind of scene. Anyway, this isn't Jay responds to all the pattern paper he wants to buy because we know that I have problems with that already. But anyway, this kit basically retails, or I should say, this kit typically this time of year retailed for about $100, and then it would often get marked down sort of November timeframe. So that's sort of those are the two sort of traditional things. Yeah, I agree. I think Spellbinders probably makes the best paper when it comes to like a thin paper cardstock, just because they do um, all the foiling, and especially with their Christmas stuff, they tend to use foiling a lot. And then this is this year, so I haven't dug into this. I watched. I think Lynn LB Handcrafted did an unboxing, or I think it might have been Vianney Creates. I think I might have seen hers. Um, anyway, I like the off white kind of color here. It's all of the box. It's almost like a pink. I think in the graphic styling, this looks very much like the January kit, which was like indoor plant themed. So I mean, they're sort of more simple florals, but the way they price this year is the kit's $50. The add-on, which has some dies, is about 30. But the really cool thing they did, which I'm like super happy about, is like these are dies I'm going to use, right? I mean, these are word dies and then some florals. They also have a die cut pack of these as well, um, which if you don't want to buy the die, you can just buy the die cut pack for $5. or it's probably $6.99 right now, but you know what I mean. Like it'll eventually be $5 in November. And then they also bundled it with a 3D embossing folders, which I've tried their regular folders, but I don't know if I remember trying a 3D one. Embossing is not something I do a lot, but every time I do it, I really like how it came out. For a recent card challenge, I did oh, here's the part you can peel off. Anyway, I did both a candy cane stripe embossing folder. I really liked how that turned out. I mean, it adds a lot of sort of subtler details. Anyway, I just wanted to pull this out. Like all the Spellbinders folders, this is really big, and I don't know if you can see it. I'll have to like do a little posting later on this. So there was a technique that one of Lynn's friends was showing a while ago, where you basically like use something like this on watercolor paper, and then use sort of the either the embossed or the debossed side, where you could watercolor on it to basically not have to worry about like the edges as much. So you just sort of do it very lightly on top. Anyway, very happy with these. Like normally I may or may not have bought an actual add-on kit because like I bought a couple of their quick and easy card kits, and like the add-ons were okay, but not like something I felt I would use. But I feel like stuff like these are like the kind of dies that I'll use forever. And Spellbinders manufactures dies quite nicely. Um, and that's available as like an individual thing. So, I mean, like if you don't care about the card kit element of this whole thing, like, and just want to die cut it, those things are pretty cool. So I am not thrilled about this. I should tell you a slight story about shipping. And yeah, I agree, Cordelia. Yeah, I think cutting the lid off these boxes makes it a lot easier. So I ordered this when it came out on the 10th, and as we are live, it's currently the 22nd. So it took about a week to get here. Um, so we will see. I don't know. I feel like they've always had some, like when they have a sale, like the warehouse goes kind of bonkers for a while. But anyway, so we have sort of the same setup. This Yeah. So we have the same setup as the other, or I should say, as last year's kit, where you're getting. Oh, we do get some. We get sequence. Hooray! I like sequence. Anyway, sorry, distracted by sparkly things. But we get 13 A2s and then five by sevens. Um, like all the Spellbinders cards, they're uh, not super heavyweight, but like heavyweight enough. You know, they're thicker than a Michaels card stock, I would say. These are very similar to the sequins we just looked at. They're basically iridescent red. They don't have a hole, and they come in 3 sizes. Um, and what I'm really interested in is it looks like we get a ton of die cuts. This is pretty standard where we get the 2 packs, but let's take a look at this. Last year they actually had an add-on that looks like so they were marketing this kit as sort of a tag and card kit this year. So I think that's why they included stuff like this in here to basically serve as like, oh, and here's a tag, right? You have like a basic ready to go tag, which puts something on it. Um, Except there's no stamp set, no dies in this kit this year. So that'll be interesting because the sentiment, the only real sentiments they've provided with the kit are they have these die cuts. Wow, that's upside down. Um, but I don't know. I feel like I really like that stamp set of having as many sentiments as I wanted, just because like I feel like the holidays, like sometimes depending on who you're sending something to, like you may want a very Christmassy sentiment, or you might want to back off a little bit. Anyway, I like this. I do like these. They also come with numbers, so if you want to do like an advent calendar kind of vibe, you can definitely do that. I'm glad there's some bigger pieces. That's always kind of nice, especially on a 5x7 card. Uh, we have a Santa who's very reminiscent of the Oh What Fun Santa, so it looks like they've been sticking with that art style. There's a deer that's also very, I mean, it seems like a fairly consistent art style. year over year, which is kind of neat because you can use the old stuff if you so choose. They've been doing these for a while as well. Ooh, pretty sparkly things. Um, okay, calm down and let's talk about what we actually have. So these are chipboard sentiments, which is nice because of what I just mentioned. And then we have some foam stickers. These are more puffy. These are more like the what came in the time offline kit. And I think they work pretty well. And one of my friends was saying, with these big, like these are like translucent gems essentially. But one of my friends was saying like, what are you going to do with the big ones? Like if you put like three of them on a card, you'd probably trigger extra postage. These are all red, which I like the Christmas red. I'm glad that that's sort of back as a thing. I don't know. I'd like a few additional colors. Some chipboard stuff. Again, this Christmas pudding, I think, is directly from Oh What Fun. I very much like this married, and this is foiled. Well, that I think is really cool. And then these I think we're used to. I forget which previous kit, but they had one that had like all these kind of stars, and that was pretty cool as well. I may still have that somewhere. I'll have to like dig that up. It was probably hmm. Let me think. It was probably the You Are Stellar kit, which had sort of like stars, galaxies, astrology, astrological stuff vibe to it. And I guess we should actually see what they intend us to make. So they have sort of a card with a tag on it. I think that's very on point with what they're selling this as. So you can see some of the things they made. These are you do get some nice dimension on these chipboard sentiments. I do like these. I have another pad that has a lot of these peppermint things, and I really like them. Um, so I don't know. We guess we'll see that paper. I think this is kind of a neat thing with pop out, and there's some. Oh, this is interesting because there's a lot more things like this. I mean, there's a lot more kind of standard patterns. I'm glad they went with more of a traditional Christmas vibe on the color palette. But really, this is very reusable. Well, I guess not this one, but like having the tree is very Christmassy. But and the Santa hat one here is pretty Christmassy. But a lot of this is very well. I mean, like here's some heart. Like I actually have a Simon Hurley stencil that looks like that. Anyway, but like hearts and standard patterns. So I mean, I think if you're looking for something that you could use beyond Christmas, this definitely has more of that vibe to it. It comes with a cardstock pack, and it looks like we get at least silver. But let's find out. They did this last year too, where the cardstock pack was individually packaged. I don't know if they ever sold it like ad hoc. And then we have two silver, no gold, which is interesting. Let's just there is a gold. I lied. Two silver, two gold. I'm glad these are back. They have not been in the new quick and easy card kits in a while, and I think we kind of have a similar. Yeah, we have sort of a similar vibe to. Whoa, my voice just did a weird thing. We have a similar vibe to last year's, I think, with the three reds, the three greens. You basically have all your bases covered. So I don't know. This one is interesting. I like the things in the kit. I don't know normally. I mean, I had wanted, like, I've loved these kits for a long time, so I was going to buy it anyway. But I don't know if I would have wanted to spend $50 on a kit that had nothing reusable. I think that's the one caveat of this. Um, I didn't see either of those two die packs sold ad hoc, although you can buy the paper on both Spellbinders and scrapbook.com. So that's pretty good. Um, so it's interesting. I think the add-on pack, I would almost like just buy the add-on pack in the paper if I didn't mind die cutting stuff. If I didn't want to die cut at all, I don't know. I probably would have picked up this kit, but I don't know. I'm liking the theme. It's hard to pick because they're all at different price points right now. Like if I was new, I'd definitely do Oh What Fun, and like I've completely used my Oh What Fun from last year. I completely used up all of Santa Lane, so there was some pretty cool stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's tricky. I have so much other Christmas stuff now that like if I was thinking about me. Um, there's definitely images in here I want to use, so I'm excited about that. I guess I feel like given that the older kits are on deep discount, like they're probably the ones I'd go with if I just wanted to make a lot of Christmas cards now, just because you're going to get a much better value for money, unless you used them last year and really wanted to. The nice thing about the art style on this one and What Fun is like if I grab this random paper on my desk, right? This is Echo Park paper that I folded for some reason. Oh, I was trying to, yeah, that was when I was trying to figure out um, a crisscross card and then managed to cut it upside down twice. But anyway, the paper went to a good home and was used rather than tossed, so that was good. But anyway, I guess I would say I like this year's kits. I definitely recommend one that was on sale because I think that that's where you can really maximize your value. And they're also a really good option if you're just starting out because even though you may not want to do die cutting or stamping and coloring and all that stuff, like it definitely is a good one. Anyway, thanks, Cordelia. I'm just about to wrap up, and thanks to anyone who watched. And if you catch this on the replay, let me know. Would you buy any of these? Would you buy a specific one? I mean, where would you want to go with this? Talk to you later, and hope you guys have an awesome day.